Hello, everyone. I am pleased to welcome Shaniera Akram. Welcome, Shaniera. It is our absolute pleasure to have you on board. I'm so excited to actually chat with you. I'm fangirling here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here too today and so proud and honoured to be asked to come and speak.
It is our immense pleasure, Shaniera. So I'd like to begin by introducing Shaniera Akram. She is the Aussie Princess of Pakistan, and I can vouch for that. And she's the wife of Pakistan cricket legend Wasim Akram. Born in Melbourne, but now Pakistan-based, Shaniera is a fierce social justice advocate. In 2019, Shaniera joined the foundation's global campaign to end avoidable blindness by becoming an ambassador with a particular focus on her adopted country, Pakistan, and on gender equity in eye health. Shaniera has visited the Fred Hollows Foundation work in Chichawatni in Pakistan's Punjab province to see patients undergo cataract surgery organized by the foundation. Restoring sight to people in countries such as Pakistan isn't just giving the gift of sight, but restoring one's position in their community and giving them back their dignity and livelihood. Fred Hollows does exactly that. So, Shaniera, I would like to officially welcome you.
Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction. So nice to be here.
So, my first question is, why should we care about fighting avoidable blindness and visual impairment?
Well, I mean, worldwide, working with Fred Hollows has been an incredible eye-opener, pun intended, because you don't actually realize how many people suffer from blindness or vision. They are vision impaired and they don't need to be. And that sort of just, it makes you really concerned about what's going on in countries with like lower economical backgrounds and, people who struggle to get proper healthcare and have medical facilities. So working with them in Pakistan, I mean, they've opened my eyes to knowing that like 36 million people in the world suffer from blindness. And, it's about 20 million of those are women.
Yeah.
So that's more than half.
Yes.
And that's an incredible statistic. And what's so concerning is that, places like Pakistan, where women suffer from blindness or are vision impaired, it's not only the loss of sight, it's so many other things that filter down. They're worsening the existence of gender-based inquiries. They've got they're reducing women's participation in all financial decision-making within the home, their ability to attend school. They have a much higher risk of violence and sexual abuse because of it. They just suffer so many other things just because they can't see. And 1 out of 10 Pakistani people are visually impaired. So these statistics that are coming out are so concerning.
I agree. Eye health has never been, it was never in the radar, especially, it's, I'm confessing, but,
we have so many, the thing is we have so many, diseases and illnesses that we battle on a day-to-day basis in Pakistan.
Exactly.
So then blindness sort of takes a second tier as a backseat because of it.
Exactly.
85% of blindness in Pakistan is avoidable or reversible. So, and when you bring, let's talk about women today, because the theme today is women empowerment and supporting women. So let's talk about women and when you've got women who are suffering from blindness or being vision impaired because of their lifestyle or because of cataracts, because of genetics, it can be detrimental to not only their health, but their lifestyle and just living in general, because they can't contribute to the family. So especially in the villages, a lot of the women work out on the fields. And when you are unable to do something like that, then you are inside looking after the children. And if you're unable to do that also, or cook, or even attend another type of job, then the woman can often be shunned from the family. And so it's a sense of dignity, also individualism, that they don't have because they can't see and function like a normal person who could.
Yes, and the statistics that you shared, it's amazing and it's eye-opening. And these things matter because if a girl, she has issues with her eyes and stops her education, it's such a backtrack or a backstep, en route to empowerment.
Especially when we are facing, like, Pakistan ranks, I think, second in the world for the lowest gender equality.
Yeah.
And then you have 25 out of we have a country of 22 million people, and 20 out of that 22.5 million children are not in school.
Exactly.
And then out of that, majority are girls.
True.
So we're already trying to battle that women empowerment and having our own individual, our sense of individuality, and adding to a family or to a community. We're already fighting that battle of trying to be educated, and then you throw something like this in where a woman or a lady can't see. It's not like we're in the West. If you are suffering from vision impair, you can get eye help or you can get your cataracts removed, but you are educated also. So there are so many different things that you can be doing also before until you get the help you need, if you can get it. In Pakistan, places like Pakistan, we don't have that.
True. That is true. So you've supported the Fred Hollows Foundation global campaign to end avoidable blindness since 2019. Tell us why.
I was much earlier before that.
Yes.
Tell us why.
Yeah. So why you chose to become involved in the foundation.
I was just going to say it goes much earlier than that because it's so incredible. Because when I was about 21, 22, I did a lot of work for charity and charities within Australia. I worked for juvenile diabetes. I worked for a lot of charities that were close to my heart, and one of them was Fred Hollows, because I was just so fascinated with the work that they were doing in countries that I never even thought I would visit. And to hear stories, what they were doing overseas was incredible. That $20 Australian or 2,000 rupees, Pakistani rupees, that's all it costs to restore someone's sight. And I just could never get over that sentence, especially as a young girl, who depends on their sight to drive, to go to school, to work, just to function. I mean, it's a hard living a life anyway when you're a young girl, but to imagine to take away the sight. So
True.
I couldn't imagine what it was like to know that $20, something which was a train ticket or a McDonald's meal or whatever it was, could actually give someone their sight back. And so I worked with a lot of the main foundation within Australia, and we did a lot of events, which is great. And then here I am 20 years later, and I'm in the country, I'm living in the country and loving the country that I'm in, where most of their work has been done. So for the last 20 years, they have set up camp right through Pakistan, restoring sight to so many millions of Pakistani people. And when they asked me to be ambassador, they said you'd be the first ambassador that we'd have on ground in Pakistan for the last 20 years. And that was just an honor for me, not only because I have this Australian tie to this wonderful foundation, but also to see with my own eyes, pun intended, also the work they've actually been doing here for so long.
No, just when I came across the Fred Hollows Foundation, and the work that is being done, it is mind blowing, and it is through actually through the Fred Hollows Foundation that I found out that how discriminatory even the blindness can be. It discriminates on the basis of gender. So yeah, I definitely.
Not only when we restore the sight, I exactly agree. Not only when we restore the
Hi there.
Hi. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. In Pakistan, we have a lot of electronical issues because we have power blackouts.
Yes.
So,
No, it's perfectly okay.
I can't see you though, just letting you know.
Okay. Can you? All right. I'll just click on it again.
I'm sorry to everybody.
It's okay. These
are the
things
problems
happen.
I live with.
So, my video is still not important. We can just resume the conversation.
Okay, well, what I was saying is that, not only when we're in Pakistan, we're restoring sight to women. I mean, that's one amazing thing when you can take, give the gift of back to somebody. We're also restoring their position in the community and giving them back like their dignity and their livelihood. So we're giving them basically their life back. With that 2,000 rupees for the operation. So like that's an incredible thing. So you're empowering these women who for years thought that their life was probably over just because they needed a simple operation such as a cataract reversal or a gift like Fred Hollows gives in restoring sight.
Wow, that is, it is amazing.
If that's not women, like, to give someone their life back and give a woman their life back, that's not
Exactly.
empowerment. I don't know what is.
No, I truly agree with you because, vision is something, the moment I started wearing glasses, I realized, you take, these things for granted. But the moment the slightest of things, happen to you, you realize, how empowering it can be, for others who have this ailment, who have issues, eye issues.
That's right. And there's so many people, like there's 220 million people in Pakistan, and we have Pakistanis all around the world. All of us very closely connected to how Pakistan is, dealing with women empowerment and women equality and gender equality here in Pakistan. Well, to the audience and to people who really want to get involved in this, there are so many on-ground NGOs working that are doing simple things, such as the Fred Hollows. This is why I want to work with them, because step by step, they are actually improving lives and empowering women one by one. And, out of the millions of operations they've done, a majority being women, that's actually heading us towards a country that is empowered, where women are empowered. So you want to help somewhere like Pakistan. Fred Hollows is a fantastic NGO to donate to get on board, to work support, because they are actually improving women's lives.
Again, I agree with you. One of the, I spoke to Dr. Zareen Khair, who's heading the Bangladesh operations. And, in our discussion, I found out, how the foundation is setting up these areas in schools so that girls can do eye checks, which is amazing. You're bringing eye health care to these girls who may not have the accessibility or perhaps the ability to move or to go to a hospital or a clinic. So
that's right. And do you know, like, they're not only doing that also and empowering women by giving them the sight back, they're also on the ground, and I've seen it. I've been out to Chitawatni, and it's in the middle of Punjab, and I've spent a week there and with the doctors and the nurses and also the healthcare professionals there, the team of Fred Hollows, and incredible stuff they're doing. They're not only setting up camps and restoring sight, they are actually also training and employing healthcare workers to be women healthcare workers to be able to go out and contact and meet these women who can't get to the hospital, who don't even know there's any kind of help available to them. So they're training these women to break down cultural barriers and go into homes and speak to these women, and and that's also women employment. That's women.
Yes.
That's just massive, you know. And they're creating groups within communities where women can come together and they you know, empower each other also, which, you know, got goosebumps
I know.
about
Yes,
it.
you know, I was just going to
So
say the
exciting.
exact same things. You know, you're on the ground. You know, you're part of you know, the change that is happening. But even listening to it gives you goosebumps.
I did. I
Um,
had it. I was like, I can't talk about this enough because it just, when you see it, it goes through every vein in your body, and you just,
exactly.
you know, you're just so excited because you're witnessing someone, you know, like we could just close our eyes right now, and you know, it's hard enough when there are people who are vision impaired, or it gets, you know, it happens over the years and it degenerates their sight, and it's sad when they're losing it, and this simple operation can just reverse that.
True, true. You know, I agree with you. So, my next question is, in 2019, you visited the foundation supported cataract surgical project at Tehsil Hospital in Punjab. Uh, Tell me about that
Oh,
trip.
it was amazing. We spent a week down there. I also fell in love with the little village of Chittawatney, and the people were there. They were just so welcoming. So hi, if anyone's watching. It's was such a pleasure to be there. But oh, that was just incredible. That was something I think everyone in the world needs to do at least once in their life, to go out to a Fred Hollows base and see what they're doing. We had, I think when I went, we had about 20 women, or about 18 women, having cataract reversal, or having the eye operation. And these women, some of them hadn't seen for, you know, 8 years, 10 years, 5 years. Some were blind in both eyes, and I went through the operation, the medical. They built the wing onto the hospital, Fred Hollows, and got all of the equipment, and trained the doctors. Had this brilliant surgeon there who was also training other surgeons from other villages around. So they were modelling this one place. This is the camp that I'd seen. They'd done that throughout Pakistan for the last 22 years. But the one I'd seen was also training people in the neighbouring villages, and the healthcare workers. I met everybody, and I met these women. And at the start, they were, you know, quite quiet and just sitting there. We had the patches they had on their eyes. The dye, they were just about to go into their operation, and they, you know, obviously they couldn't see at all. And I held their hand and I spoke to them in as much Urdu as I possibly could. I didn't know any Punjabi, but it was being translated for me, which was good. And I held their hands as they went in the operation, and even I was a bit scared, you know, going into the operation. But it was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
simple. They're not even put under local anaesthetic. It's just in their eye, and so they're awake the whole
yeah.
time. And I held their hand, and they were amazing troopers. They did so well, and I saw the operation through the lens of the microscope that the surgeon was working on. And it was, I mean, obviously it wasn't simple, but to me it didn't look too
Yeah.
complicated. It was just a simple. The cap popped off, and it was the cataract popped off. And after he'd cut around, and it came out, and I was like, wow, it's done. It happened in about 15 minutes. And then this lady, one of the ladies that I was in there with, we held her hand, we brought her back out, and she had the patch on her eye, and she was recovering. And then the next day came, and I was so excited to get to the hospital again and see these women. And that was when we took the patch off their eyes. And I think this was a defining moment of my life, you know, where I got to take a cotton swab off these ladies' eyes, and they saw for the first time. So in a long time.
Would have been a surreal
It was
moment.
unbelievable to know that, you know, all these people around the world and in Australia that are donating to this foundation, that every cent that they've donated goes to actually restoring someone's sight. And these women, well, it was actually quite funny because were a little bit shocked at the start because they didn't know who they were looking at. I was expecting this big wow, and they were just sort of, you know, and I had to tell them who I was and why I was there and why I couldn't, you know, fluently speak to them, but I was speaking to them in as much Urdu as I knew. And they were, you know, after 10 minutes, I think the whole room was laughing. We were all laughing. Some of them wanting to take me home. Some of them wanted to come home with me and didn't want to go back. But then this sense of, I think it might have been empowerment. I don't know. These
Yes, it is.
just sit there. They were just sitting there so scared the day before. And so I don't know how these women had been treated or mistreated in their lives. But for one day,
yes,
they forgot it all about that, and we were laughing and giggling, and we were rolling around. We're all got on one bed together. You know, we're all taking selfies and pictures, and you know, it was incredible feeling the energy that was in the room. These women were so happy, and they made friends with each other as well. And they'd probably never ever had a night or two away from their families before, and they were different women. Today.
exactly. And it's start of a new, vibrant life for them.
Nothing. They get to see their grandchildren and they get to help around
Exactly.
the house. And you know how that feeling when you help contribute in your family, you feel
Exactly.
a sense of self-worth and you feel a sense of dignity and pride.
Yes.
And I mean, I know I do when I cook and I see my daughter or my sons eat my food that I eat, or that feeling you get when you see your family all together. You know, these women get to have these memories back.
True. No, I agree with you. It is, like I said, a surreal moment when, your vision is restored. You can see the colors of this world. You can see, like you said, grandchildren, your loved ones. So, and there's, yeah.
No,
No, go on.
it's exactly what you said. You're not only giving them their sight back, you're giving them their life back. And that's only 2,000 rupees or $20 or 10 American dollars or
yes.
10 pounds, however you want to look
Yes.
at it. You know, that's not, you can't
Absolutely.
put a price on giving someone their life back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's worth it, So you also experienced a patch of moment, and you've just spoken about it, how you felt about it. So what do you want to tell our audience who are listening to you now, and how would you like them to be involved?
We can get involved, and you can, this is definitely a foundation, an NGO that you want to work with or donate to if you really believe that women should be empowered in Pakistan. There are so many women still living without sight. And, as we discussed today, just by not having their sight, their lives in general, just, contributing to the communities and to their families and just living their life in general is very debilitating for them. So to empower these women, something as simple as giving sight back to so many more millions of women that need it will definitely be women empowerment in itself. So follow the foundation. You can tap into my accounts, my Twitter or my Instagram. The link to the foundation is there. You can also go to Yalla Give and follow the Fred Hollows Foundation yourself, and you can donate through their website online also.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Fred
Hollows Foundation is focusing on creating, approaches to close gender equality in the future through eye health, and you can get all that information online on the Fred Hollows Foundation online on their website, and you can also see what's coming up in the future. There's a lot of exciting stuff, and I've given myself to devote the upcoming next years for the women of Pakistan and to create more of a gender equality through eye health.
Thank you, Shaniera. I'm
Whilst
trying to
you're
do
doing
that.
I'll mention again for those people who just tuned in, by restoring sight to women in Pakistan, we're empowering women through social inclusion, also giving them a political voice, a sense of well-being, psychological health, financial and emotional independence. And that, like we said before, there's no price you can put on all of that. And again, today we touched on the fact that there are a lot of women who aren't empowered because they don't have the gift of sight. You know, so little by little,
True.
there are ways which on the ground you can help. It's not about tweeting women empowerment or standing up and going, I'm a feminist or I support this. It's about actually getting out there and
Exactly.
going, well, I'm going to raise some money to be able to help these women and maybe change their life. That's women empowerment.
Exactly.
Women helping women.
Exactly. And lifting one another.
Yeah, exactly. And empowering people, being empowered and also empowering the empowered. You know, there's no sky's the limit.
Exactly. I totally agree with you on that. So my tech support team will now be sharing, hopefully, the screen, the presentation, so that everyone
And
can
I'll
have a
also be
look.
sharing it on my Twitter, which is I am Shaniera, and my Instagram, I use the same I am Shaniera. You should search Shaniera Akram. I'm sure it should be there. And definitely join me in my venture with Fred Hollow. So I post a lot, and we'll be going out to camps next year, posting a lot of projects that we are doing with women. So definitely come jump on board. I love all the love. We need to all work together and be working as one. And that's what I love about being in Pakistan and living in Pakistan, is that I'm never alone. There's always hundreds of people want to do what I'm doing and together, and it's just so much better when there's so many more positive people around.
All right, the screen
well
is
done.
here.
Mubarak.
Shukriya. All right, here it is.
There we go.
So, Shaniera, if you can just
Please get
say
involved,
a few words,
everyone.
then
We
you'll be.
need your help. Get involved in the work that Fred Hollows is doing, and helping women of the world of all ages to see again. And please visit Yella Give website and donate today. Best way to women empowerment is by one step at a time and helping those NGOs that are really making a difference. And I've seen it with my own eyes, again, pun intended. I've seen it happen. I've been there. I've been working with the foundation for over a year and a half now, and they're just doing incredible things. And, inshallah, we've got so much more to go. We've got a country of 22 million people, so...
Thank you, Shaniera Akram, so much for coming on board, for having the patience with all this, technology, that is coming our way, and, talking about the Fred Hollows Foundation. I am truly inspired by your work and the work that, the Fred Hollows Foundation is doing. It is inspirational. So thank you for that.
Remember, everyone, 4 out of 5 people suffer blindness, and they don't need to.
Absolutely. So participants, attendees, seeing is believing. Look at their work, check out their website. They're doing amazing work. Donate and support, volunteer, in any capacity you can. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shaniera.
Have a wonderful day and good luck. And to all the women out there, love you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.